What really happens when 20 years of secrets suddenly explode, not in whispers behind closed doors, but in the blinding light of a courtroom. Every betrayal, every dollar, every lie boiled down to a single question: who really owns the truth? That's the nightmare Jackie Christie never saw coming. When Doug Christie filed what may become reality TV's most earth-shaking lawsuit, nobody could have guessed just how deep the fallout would go. This wasn't just another tabloid scandal. This was revenge with the force of law behind it, and at its core was a family secret so toxic, it destroyed everything in its path. It all started with a rumor, the kind of online buzz that usually dies out before the hashtags even finish trending. But this time, it wasn't just smoke. There was fire burning underneath. Years of odd looks, missed clues, lingering doubts, all ignored for decades, suddenly came crashing down the moment a single DNA test changed the story forever. There's been so much talk, so many insiders and alleged sources, but the chain reaction began with something simple, a question that had haunted Doug Christie in silence for nearly 20 years. Sometimes you don't want to know the truth. Sometimes the truth finds you anyway. Reports claim it was a cold envelope delivered to Doug's lawyer that started the avalanche. Inside, the DNA results that would detonate a family. Not only did it confirm, with chilling scientific precision, that Doug had no biological connection to Shantel, the daughter he'd loved and raised as his own since the day she was born. What was even more explosive was the match that followed, a 998% confirmation linking Chris Webber, Doug's longtime teammate and friend, as the real father. For many, knowing would have been enough. For Doug, this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning of something nobody in that family could have prepared for. He didn't rage, didn't lash out in public. Instead, Doug lawyered up without a word. In the blink of an eye, he dismantled years of silence with a single legal blow. A blockbuster lawsuit filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court. No other reality star had ever done anything like this. Not just calling out a spouse for betrayal, but filing suit for paternity fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil identity manipulation, public misrepresentation for financial gain, and, most incredible of all, demanding a staggering $4.6 million in damages. Nobody believed it at first. But as the court documents leaked, everybody saw the same thing. This wasn't some quick cash grab or publicity stunt. Filed motions, evidence lists, and line-by-line claims went public. Shots of the legal paperwork. It read like the plot summary of a streaming true crime docuseries mixed with the real pain of lives torn apart. The allegations were atomic. Doug wasn't just after the money he'd spent over 2 decades. Private school fees, tuition, gifts, vacations, staged Sweet 16s, even emotional costs calculated down to the penny. He wanted every dollar ever earned off the lie itself. And more than that, he wanted public correction of the most important record of all, the birth certificate. Just as the internet caught wind, the receipts landed. There was no hiding now. The DNA papers, cold and clinical. Jackie's own journal entries where she allegedly wrote that she knew Chris was the father, but was in too deep to turn back. A voicemail leaked from Jackie's phone, warning Chris to stick to the story. More fuel. Then came the contract, a clause in Jackie's VH1 reality show agreement where she reportedly misrepresented Shantel as Doug's biological child. These weren't the kind of rumors you could spin or deny on social media. For the first time, everything was written in black and white, and Jackie's reality empire, built over years of filming, branding, and influencer deals, suddenly looked like a sandcastle in the tide. As the headlines screamed, the dollar amounts started rolling in, and the numbers shocked even the most jaded industry insiders. Doug's legal filing didn't just focus on the emotional toll. It itemized every cost: $180,000 in private school tuition, $95,000 for college, $72,000 in medical expenses, $230,000 for family vacations, $75,000 for the infamous Sweet 16 party with Bo Wow, $150,000 in miscellaneous gifts, cars and clothing, and a soul-crushing $500,000 valuation for emotional distress. Even more devastating, $1. $88 million was traced directly to Jackie's income and endorsements, money made public-facing on a lie, according to Doug's legal team. But numbers only tell part of the story, and the real drama was happening behind closed doors. Leaked insider reports claimed that when Jackie was served, she broke down, sobbing for 2 hours. Others said her team scrambled to scrub her name from networks and real estate partnerships almost overnight. Chris Webber, known for his calm in NBA Finals, reportedly switched representation and went completely dark. No statement, no interviews, nothing but rumors of panicked meetings and urgent calls to old friends. This case wasn't just legal. It was about legacy, and Doug's team made that clear with declarations to the press. This is about any man ever deceived by the people he trusted most. This lawsuit will set a legal precedent. They mapped out a blueprint for paternity fraud litigation nationwide, suggesting that what happened to Doug might, for the first time, become grounds for real, punitive justice. What started with one betrayed husband could ripple across the entire country. The courtroom was about to become the stage for a reckoning bigger than reality television. While legal wheels turned, social media erupted. Some called it overdue justice. Others accused Doug of revenge. Fans, gossip pages, and even advocacy groups picked apart every detail. Was Jackie's brutal humiliation in the public eye fair, or did she deserve it? Did Chris's silence for 2 decades make him complicit or just as much a victim of emotional blackmail? Hashtags exploded. Justice for Doug, our paternity fraud laws, lies cost lives. And for Shantel, the daughter at the center of the storm, user-generated sympathy and opinions blazed nonstop. It wasn't just a drama. It became a battleground for ethics, loyalty, and the hidden toll of public lies. Just as it seemed the story couldn't get any darker, reports broke of a stunning new twist. According to leaked messages and a photo that allegedly made it straight to Doug's legal team, Jackie's assistant delivered a sealed envelope to Shantel's apartment just days after she was named as a witness. Inside was $15,000 in cash and a handwritten note reportedly urging Shantel to let her parents handle it and promising to take care of you like I always have. Rumor or not, the court treated it as real enough. Jackie was immediately hit with a cease and desist, and an investigation into possible witness tampering was underway. Almost on cue, Jackie attempted damage control, jumping to an Instagram Live at 2 a.m., rambling about loyalty and betrayal. The public wasn't buying it. Her comment section torched her. "Girl, you tried to buy your own daughter's silence." It was a new low, and it played out for millions to see. Depositions began. Partial transcripts leaked online. Whether by insiders or carefully timed media drops, nobody was quite sure. Doug's words shocked even those who thought they'd heard it all. "I spent 20 years protecting Jackie's image. Now I realize I was shielding the lie, not the woman." Emotional but unbroken, Doug's statement triggered a wave of support for dads everywhere. Jackie fared worse, fumbling through questions, contradicting older statements, and allegedly admitting she'd known the truth about Shantel's paternity since year 1. But the court wanted more than apologies. They wanted clarity. When pressed, did she knowingly list Doug as the biological father? "I didn't list him, the nurse just asked, and I said his name," she said. Her defense, based on stress and confusion, fell flat as the evidence mounted. The breakthrough moment came when Chris Webber finally appeared for deposition. No lawyers, no entourage, just a man facing the consequences of silence. What he admitted, according to sources, was devastating. "I knew the possibility existed. Jackie told me she wasn't sure. I stayed quiet to protect her and Doug, but silence can be just as damaging." That admission, caught in transcript, cracked the last defense Jackie had. Chris essentially confirmed he co-conspired, even if passively, to hide the truth for years. On the outside, the consequences grew uglier by the day. Jackie's real estate empire lost key partners. Her podcast was abruptly canceled, with sponsors citing morality and trust standards. Even syndication rights for her hit reality TV show were put on ice pending resolution. As for Chris, an alleged text leaked that showed him unraveling. "This is spiraling. I never expected court. I just wanted it buried." He may not have wanted the spotlight, but there was nowhere left to hide. And Shantel? She stepped into the public eye for perhaps the first time ever, her own voice at last. She filed legal paperwork to change her surname, reportedly citing emotional harm and identity reconstruction. In a widely shared interview snippet, she captured the world's attention. "This isn't just about who my father is. It's about living as myself, not as a character in someone else's narrative." Even teased the working title of her upcoming book, Built on Lies, My Life as Someone Else's Daughter. The headline alone went viral. With the media melting down, the real showdown was yet to come. The court set a date, and rumors swirled that the entire trial might be televised. Network executives debated whether to rebrand their entire reality lineup. For Doug, the attention was unwanted. He refused every documentary offer, even as rival studios circled like sharks. Instead, through his lawyer, he released a single calm statement. "This isn't about revenge, it's about the truth. And the people who built their lives on lies will finally answer for it." The statement went viral, and for many, Doug became a symbol, trending under "Daksh calm vengeance" and "stand up for truth." Advocacy groups adopted his story as the rallying cry for national paternity law reform. At last, the day arrived. The courtroom overflowed. Media, former teammates, reality TV producers, all desperate to witness the conclusion of the decade's biggest personal scandal. Doug arrived early, no entourage, just a quiet determination. Jackie came in shrouded in black, face behind sunglasses, her legal team buzzing. Chris slipped in through a side door, avoiding cameras and whispered press questions. But everyone was waiting for answers, not apologies. It started with opening statements. Doug's attorney wasted no time. "This is about more than paternity. This is about identity theft, emotional weaponization, and the exploitation of loyalty. No man should ever be forced to live a lie so another can profit." Jackie's attorney tried to reframe her as the victim of stressful circumstances. But with evidence already stacked, few in the courtroom bought it. Testimonies ripped the old facade to shreds. Doug spoke quietly but firmly. "I wasn't weak for loving my family. I was strong for surviving the betrayal." He described sacrificing career moments for family events, putting everything into being a father, never suspecting the foundation was built on someone else's secret. When asked if he would have left had he known the truth, he paused. "I would have stayed for Shantel, but I was robbed of that choice. No one gets to rewrite that for me." Jackie tried to hold her composure at first, but as cross-examination heated up, she faltered. "Did you knowingly allow Doug to believe Shantel was his child for over 20 years? "Yes." "Did you benefit financially from that belief?" "Yes." Her voice finally cracked. "My brand, my contracts, my public life all depended on that story." That admission triggered a visible reaction from the press gallery. Snapped photos, gasps, feverish note-taking. The moment everyone had waited for came when Shantel walked calmly to the stand. She was poised, resolute, her eyes fixed on Jackie. She described living in a world of staged family events, never suspecting anything was amiss except for strange, emotional moments when Chris would show up at gatherings. Her voice never broke. "Doug may not be my biological father, but he was the only parent who never lied to me, until he had to." She ended with a devastating line. "The truth hurts, but a lie stole my childhood." Social media lit up. "Truth, Hurts But Lies Ruin" launched seconds after, dominating trending pages overnight. Chris Webber's turn, though brief, delivered the final blow. "I stayed silent for years. I thought protecting Jackie and Doug was the right thing. I know now silence can cause just as much pain." That single sentence, analyzed by countless think pieces, changed everything about how the public viewed the conflict. The verdict came quickly. Jackie Christie found liable for paternity fraud, emotional manipulation, and civil deception. Ordered to pay $2.9 million in damages. Chris Webber, found jointly liable for willful concealment and emotional damage, ordered to pay $1.7 million and formally acknowledge paternity. For Doug, it was vindication in public, on record, a clean break after decades of silent pain. But the story didn't end in the courtroom. Jackie's team issued a short, cold statement. "We respectfully disagree with the ruling and are considering our options." No apology. No real acknowledgement of what had been lost. Her family, her brand, her reputation, shredded in a single summer. Chris, in contrast, shared a late-night post. "I was wrong. I hope Doug can forgive me. And I hope Shantel knows how proud I am to be her father." Too late for redemption, the internet said, but at least it was something. In the most poignant moment of all, Shantel, flanked by Doug on the courthouse steps, stepped up to the microphone as hundreds of cameras flashed. "The courts told us the law, but my heart tells me Doug is the only father I've ever known." She embraced Doug, a symbolic gesture echoed in headlines and television recaps across the world. Jackie alone watched from the sidewalk, her empire now in ruins. In the weeks that followed, everything changed. Jackie's assets came under review as Doug's legal team pursued restitution. Real estate partners kept their distance. TV networks quietly edited out her scenes and paused syndication deals, wary of further scandal. Even Chris faced a review by the NBA Hall of Fame committee, with viral petitions urging honors be rescinded due to prolonged misconduct. The debate raged on fan forums, podcasts, and online polls. But the consensus was hard. Silence is never protection, it's participation. For Doug, the end of his legal battle became the launch of a new mission, standing with advocacy groups fighting for paternity fraud victims nationwide. "My story isn't unique," he said to an audience at his first public event. "But if my case can help even one father escape the pain of living someone else's lie, then maybe I lost those years for a reason." His dignity became the postscript, the example that sometimes after the dust settles, integrity has its own reward. Jackie, reduced to near anonymity, tried to rebuild. But with mounting debts, frozen accounts, and sponsors refusing her calls, even her once loyal fans faded away. Chris, for his part, tried to connect with Shantel, but it was clear the wound would not heal quickly. "Maybe someday," Shantel said in a later interview. "But for now, I need to find my own identity. Not just as someone's daughter, but as myself." And for viewers around the world, the question still burns. Should betrayal as deep as this become a criminal offense? Should legacy be stripped from those who built it on deception? If silence destroys as surely as a lie, who really deserves forgiveness? These are questions with no easy answers, and that's the story's real power. So, what would you do if your entire life was hijacked for someone else's gain? Is Jackie Christie a criminal, or just a manipulator who finally met the consequences of her choices? Should Chris Webber be celebrated for NBA achievements, or should every honor be stripped as a warning about complicity? And of everyone involved, is Shantel the only one who truly walks away with her soul intact? Drop your answer in the comments. Don't hold back. Like this video if you're done watching people profit off lies. Subscribe if you believe betrayal should have consequences. And turn on notifications, because if you thought this story was wild, the next secret might make this look tame by comparison. This isn't just another exposé, it's a warning. Families are built on trust, but fortunes are sometimes built on fiction. And the world just watched a reality empire burn to the ground, lives rearranged, reputations destroyed, and for once, the truth coming out on top.